What's your opinion on Misyar marriage? Okay, so first of all, there are opinions on it. Number one, right? That's the one we need to understand, that there are some opinions. A lot of people do not understand what it means, and I'm not going to spend time now to explain it. Bottom line is, some people, they say it is permissible. Some people say it is not permissible. Okay, there's a concept in Islam called siddu dira, or stopping the means. If something leads, it's an usul al-fiqh principle or fiqh principle. If something leads to something that can be harmful, it can be stopped, even if that thing is halal. That can be debated, and the different madhabs had different approaches to even usul al-fiqh. Bottom line is that no one can make something halal that is haram, and no one can make something that is haram halal. You got to be careful. So even if something is halal, you cannot make it haram. And even if something is haram, you cannot make halal, even if you don't like it or whatever. Bottom line is, misyar is a marriage. Okay, it is a marriage. Are the conditions of the marriage met? What are the rukun or the arkan of the marriage? They are, okay, two witnesses, the wali, okay, in general, and the mahar, and ijab and qabul, yani offer and acceptance of offer. This is what makes marriage valid. Some people say announcing it. Like, what are you going to do? Put in the newspaper? Yes, you can announce it. Some people will know. By the way, most Misyar marriages, people know that you married someone. It's usually the first wife, or the wife of the family of the wife, or the family of the girl who's married, actually. I know many cases of Misyar that have taken place where the woman wants it. She's a widow. Her family is putting so much pressure on her to never get married again. She's a divorcee. Her culture looks down upon her. She's 35 and she is suffering. But her society and her culture is expecting her to stay alone for the rest of her life. So she is seeking misyar, and she's seeking fatawas from sheikhs and so on. Is it dangerous? Yes. Is it problematic? Yes. I've already explained that. I made a video when I was responding to Mahdi when he had that service, no strings attached, and I was explaining to him, bro, my advice is that this can cause a lot of trouble. I'm not saying it's haram. I'm not saying this and that. All I'm saying, it can lead to a lot of problems. However, you have to understand, I'm telling you again, and I'm going to say it again, that in general, misyar is sought out online in general by women. Guys are a little bit scared to make the move and be like, hey, sister, would you like to give up your rights? No, it's most likely this is how it works. Assalamu alaikum, brother. They talk, whatever, I don't know what. She's, proposes marriage. She says, look, would you marry me? The guy says, look, I'm already married. She says, okay, take another wife. He says, okay, but I can't really afford it. She says, it's okay, I don't need the money. So now she started giving up some of her rights. Now we're getting into misyar. Okay, tanaza'at, yani you're just kind of giving up some of your rights. However, for it to fulfill the misyar requirement, he might say something like, look, I appreciate that you don't want money and this and that. You have your own place, blah, blah, blah. You're divorced, you're a widow, whatever. And most of the times it's divorcees and widows who want misyar. I'll tell you why later in a bigger discussion. But bottom line is, she will say, look, don't worry, like, it's fine. He says, look, I can't tell my wife. She's just going to flip out and she's going to take away my kids. And she's going to call prevent, and she's going to basically take me to the police and jail me. And I have had those cases where women have done that and have reported their husbands who they love supposedly and put them in jail for 2 years and so on, just for the thought. He didn't even marry yet. For those who married, it caused a lot of problems. Police was involved, arrests, kids had to see it, and so on, just because he wanted to get married to another wife. If he wanted to do it openly, and he did it openly. So now some people say that guys are cowards and they shouldn't do it if they're cowards. Bottom line is, when you do it openly, in the West especially, a lot of these things happen in the West, most of the problems are going to come that the wife knows that she has some leverage with the government and police, and she will basically use that. Right? So the guy says, look, I can't do it. I can't risk my kids. It's not that I'm a coward. It's not that I'm this. It's not that I'm that. I just don't want to risk these problems. I don't want to hurt my wife. She's a good woman, but I know she's going to go crazy. She says, no problem. I mean, look, just don't tell her. He says, okay, I won't tell her. So now it's reached a point where, like, it kind of like, wow, the guy's like, oh, I can. So you're telling me I can get halal intimacy without any, basic responsibilities and not telling my wife, well, that's a great deal, he will say. And she says it's okay. And she wants intimacy. I've dealt with cases where women said, look, I want to get married to this brother. And I'm like, sister, what do you want? She said, I don't want anything. I'm like, look, you should at least ask. Nope. I just want intimacy. And it's not like we shouldn't shame the woman for wanting intimacy, right? But because the culture and the world is so strange, they'll not look at that point that the woman wanted to get married. Why would a woman give up these rights? Bottom line is you have to understand it is the woman who can say yes or no. The man can say please, or hey, do you want to get married? Or hey, this is what it is. Will you accept the marriage, right? Even in the Sharia, in the Aqd, the man makes the ijab. The ijaba, this he says, will you marry me? And she makes the qabul, yes, I will. She can say no. So who's given up the rights? It's not the man. He cannot force it because he doesn't have those rights. The man doesn't have the rights. He doesn't have those things. It's the woman's rights. So she is the one who actually gives up her position willingly. I mean, no one can really force you, right? Why is she giving up her position? Because she realizes that she needs something, and for her to reach a value that is comparable and he will accept, she will give up some of her rights. She knows that he will have a harder time to not go for it if she gives up some of those rights. Bottom line is, in the end of the day, as much as the sister's crying or anyone's sister, she is the one who accepted and gave up the rights. The man cannot. It's not his rights. He doesn't have those assets. He doesn't have those values. He just doesn't. It's the woman's. It's her time. It's not his time. It's her mahar. It's not his mahar. He doesn't get the mahar. It's her sustenance. It's not his. All of it, it's hers. So she makes the decision whether I want to enter in this or not. What happens after the marriage? That's a different story. Okay, I call it in a sense some people can say it's a desperate move for a woman. Well, yeah, because guess what? They're not ice cubes. Contrary to popular opinion of many women and men, the problem is that we're not honest with ourselves. We don't know humanity, or we want to deny it. We have this what's called social fluff. All the like, no, 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 this is not right. Come on, man. Bottom line is, the woman desires sex. She wants intimacy as well. And why not? Like, what is so bad about a woman wanting sex? I don't understand. Like, why is society like, come on, man, look around. But the Muslims have this holier than thou fluff, social fluff. No. Well, yeah, obviously she's a woman. What's wrong? This normal. It is normal for a woman to have desires. However, this will lead her to taking certain decisions. And those are her decisions. And if that's what she does, she's going to be responsible for the decision. Is he responsible for not upholding the end of this bargain? If he breaks his bargain, then yes, he is responsible. The bottom line is, it's very tough to know who didn't uphold their end of the bargain. In the end of the day, it will be the man who is the guilty one, the culprit, the criminal, not the woman. Because again, thousands of years of social trends and conditioning have always led to women being the victims when it comes to a relationship. It's just the way it is, because they are the weaker element in the relationship and in the world. And the world will always look at the man as the perpetrator and the woman as the victim. Even with like female criminals who have done it would always shock the world when finally the evidence comes out, sometime after 20 years of false accusations and all kinds of things, because the world has been conditioned for millenniums, you have to understand, and it's not going to change anytime soon, to believe that the woman is always the victim, like I just said in Surah Yusuf. Okay, so I'm not trying to say anything other than to explain it, and I hope you guys understand. Jazakallah, a very good question, and may Allah bless you.